This is Shalom World Podcast.
He who saw it has borne witness. His testimony is true, and he knows that he tells the truth, that you also may believe. Yes, I saw it. Even after his death on the cross, the prophecies about him, who was the law and the prophets himself, continued to be fulfilled, just as God says in the book of Zechariah, that there shall be a fountain opened for the house of David and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, to cleanse them from sin and uncleanness. I saw it happen that day. I stood there, watching as this fountain of mercy and love opened up for all of us. Oh, what love is this! That the Father would send his only begotten Son to die for us on the cross. That God would lay down his life on the cross for us. I was the same person who once asked him if we should respond by sending down fire from heaven when confronted with people's flaws. But now, if one is to look at my gospel, it is often like poetry, a poem of love. I did not have this sort of love in me until I met him who died for me, him who made me his beloved. And in becoming his beloved, I became beloved by love itself. For he is the font of eternal love. One may wonder why I didn't run away like the other apostles during Jesus' passion and crucifixion. But do you know what made me stay? It was my experience of his love that kept me there. How could I turn away from such unfathomable love? No amount of suffering or persecution could ever separate me from his love. And today, I want you to know that his love can conquer you as well. It can transform your heart of stone into a heart of flesh. It can remove everything that separates you from love and mold you into an instrument of his love. The question is, will you let him?
John chapter 13, verses 34 and 35. A new commandment I give to you, that you love one another. Even as I have loved you, that you also love one another. By this all men will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another.
Yes, the Gospel of St. John, almost like a poem, invites us to truly see the love of God in everything Jesus said and did during his time here on earth. We often use the word love so much, but do we really get what it means? How many times do we back away from the sacrifices that love demands of us? And why do we draw these boundaries for love and forgiveness when God has invited us to live out his love fully? This Lent, we invite you to give your heart to him, just like John did. Allow Jesus to fill your heart with the love of God.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord?
Shalom World Podcast is now available on all online platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and others.